welcome. Welcome to this moment, loves. All right, welcome back to the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. Eventually, we'll come up with a theme song. We are already at episode 128. Today, we're getting into holistic health. Today's B Day. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy B Day. We're focusing on the power of internally motivated goal setting today and resetting your day with holistic health, passion, and play. Yeah. So that is the topic. And as we're getting started, if you don't know who we are, good day, love. I'm Coach Tensi, and this is...
I'm Coach Soul.
Yeah, we are co-founders of Ufulu Child. Ufulu means freedom, and we have created a virtual home for freedom seekers worldwide that are freedom-seeking, truth-seeking, working moms and their families. So working dads are in here too. We got working grandmamas, retired grandmamas in here, but more as of late, we've been focusing more specifically on the working mom and her family, right? So you out there, if you have ever struggled with autoimmunity, or if you've ever struggled with obesity in your home, or any of those two in your home, whether it's you or it's your kids or your parents or whoever is up in your house, okay, or household. We're gonna every day of this episode, every day of the work week of this podcast, and every day of the work week, thank you, we get into practical ways that you can stay connected with your Thrive Zone. You can stay connected and stay consistent with your goals when it comes to holistic freedom as you define it for your life. Yay. So,
Also, stay with us until the end of this episode so that you can hear how to be there when we host Thrive Zone on January 20th.
yeah, it's gonna be so good. Okay. I'm super hyped and super excited for Thrive Zone. If you don't know about it, after you finish watching this episode, we'll let you know how. We'll let you know. Okay. So you can tap in. Okay. When it comes to goal setting, this is something that if you have ever been diagnosed with ADHD, or maybe you have not been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, but you notice that either you have experienced brain fog or whatever, that it's hard sometimes to stay focused and self-motivated on accomplishing and completing a goal. When it comes down to the daily routine, it becomes a little difficult to see the big picture if you're doing little tasks, or to do the little tasks if you see the big picture. So this is what we're getting into today. And the reason why it matters is because if you've ever experienced that, you are not alone. That has been me. That has been me. And I am actively on a journey and still on a journey of refining my own way of finding that balance on the everyday that is unpredictable, and you gotta sometimes rush out the door, and you don't want to be rushing, but that's what life be happening because you didn't wake up early enough, or you didn't get enough sleep, or whatever the story is, whatever the excuse is.
Yeah, so
No
y'all
excuse shall
low-key
prosper.
get a free coaching call in today's episode because some of the thing we're going to be sharing with you some of our best, methods and techniques for overcoming these very common road speed bumps.
Yes. And it's happening just in time too, because we are in the last 2 days of this year. And the new year's coming up. That's when new year, new you, new goals get cropped up, and you want to pursue the things that you didn't do this past year because you dropped that ball, honey. And that's okay, because you can pick it back up, or you can pick up a new ball if that's one that more resonates with what you're actually trying to do in your life, right? So, why this matters. This is the power of internally motivated goal setting. So there's a difference between internally motivated goals and externally motivated goals. And that's like what's driving you from within. If it's internally motivated, then it aligns with your personal, like your core values. It aligns with your vision of freedom. It empowers your independence. It empowers your freedom, your autonomy over your life. And it also cultivates trust in your own abilities. Now, when it's externally motivated, oftentimes it's more on the surface level. It's more superficial. So it could be like, I'm trying to get this money. I'm trying to look better physically appearance, like your physical appearance. I'm trying to get this certain job or something that's just externally motivated. That's cool. However, if you're trying to stay rooted and go strong to the long haul, it can't stay there. Those can still be in your arsenal of goals that you're moving towards, but you got to scoop that up into a more expanded why, a more expanded reason that's 7 layers deeper into that root why, where you're truly getting to the heart of what is the big picture goal, my vision
Well,
of freedom.
yeah, and what is the deepest reason why I want to reach the goal? So what your core why is not what you want,
Mhm,
it's why you want it
mhm,
on a subconscious level. So
mhm,
that's what that's unlocking in terms of knowledge of self is what is the core reasoning that's driving you or resonating train of thought that's driving you to commit to the path
mhm.
because what this what makes you cycle through different lessons in life is committing to various pathways, and
Mhm.
um, they're all going to come with challenges and things, and so that's why you need some sort of connection to your innermost reason why you're committing to the path you're committed to now. And it's doubly, I would say, doubly important when it ties into why you're headed towards holistic freedom,
Mhm.
because that's going to bring the most challenges as the evildoers in the world are aiming at stripping you of holistic freedom.
Yeah,
And so, since that's the main goal of those that do evil in the world, you're going to face the biggest challenges when you commit to
that
achieving
very thing.
holistic freedom
Absolutely.
and
And
sustaining it.
thank you for bringing in that piece of clarity um, into that moment, because that's important to distinguish the difference between the goal and what's motivating the goal. So let's break it down. Okay, let's say, for example, your big goal might be to reverse autoimmunity, right, in your own body, whether it's diabetes or it's cancer or it's eczema or anemia or MS, or whether it's obesity, because low key that's also autoimmunity when we're breaking it down, right? So let's take that big goal and the intention is we're going to write this down. So if you have a moment and you have something to write something down physically, even if your handwriting you think look like chicken scratch, I do not care. Okay, write it down. And what it does is I've recently heard this phrase again, and I think it comes from the Bible, even though I do not. I'm not a Bible studier, y'all, but I do appreciate ancient texts and truths embedded within them. Anyway, it was saying write the vision and make it plain, right? And there have been studies that show when you write down your goals, when you write them down, there is a deeper connection and correlation to those that actually achieve them. Stronger connection. So write down your yearly goal, and that could be it. Maybe within 12 months, you want to reverse an autoimmune condition. Don't want to have it anymore. Great. Awesome. Write that down. That's your yearly goal. Break that down into a quarterly milestone. So what's something that you have to get done within the next quarter in order to get that done, within the next 3 months, aka quarter. And then once you take that, what I do, and we have something that we had provided in our Thrive Zone membership back when that was open to the public and things. Stay tuned for Thrive Zone event for the revamp. Anyway, but the Thrive Zone membership had something called the Freedom Map where we broke it down and you circled your number one quarterly goal, quarterly milestone that you wanted to focus on. And then from there, you took that one and you broke it down into monthly priorities. So, what is your monthly goal that you need to do in order to reach that quarterly goal? We're always kind of taking the big thing and like, okay, what do I need in order to check that off the list in order to actually reach that, reasonably speaking? Okay, that's how we're framing this. That's how we're thinking of it.
Yeah. And so we take the quarterly, break it to the monthly, monthly, break it to the weekly, weekly, break it to the daily. And what this practice does is reveal to you whether or not you have something realistic that you can make your quarterly milestone.
Mhm.
If you look at what you have to do daily and you have to add hours to your day in order to meet the weekly, then obviously that snowballs in a way that shows you immediately without having to do any algorithms in your head that you're not going to realistically make the quarterly goal. And so you revisit your breakdown until you have something that maybe it is a bit of a challenge, but it's not unreasonable.
Mhm.
And
That part.
and that's really great.
Takes a little tinkering, but you can do it. So we're going to prioritize with this your morning routine, or your rise and routine, however you want to say it if you want to be fancy. Okay, we're getting into holistic health. So why the daytime matters, those first few matters where you wake up, those matter the most because it sets the tone for the entire day. That energy that you're choosing in those first few hours will either fuel you up or it's going to drain you. And so we're prioritizing the Freedom Five here. That's be, cleanse, fuel, move, and shine. Every episode of this podcast, we dive into one of them at least. And so the whole point here is to begin from your Thrive Zone. So if you remember what it is, it's where three worlds meet. And this is where there's the most fulfillment. This is where you'll find that sweet spot that allows you to stay consistent and to feel like fall in love with your life again and build that trust again from your Thrive Zone. Okay, so this is three worlds are what you love, what you need, and what you're called to. And when you are structuring your routine, even if you just have 15 minutes, you can think, okay, check in with your spirit. What's something from your Thrive Zone that you love, that you need, that you're called to, or you're ready for, that you have access to now, right? What is something that you're, in terms of the Freedom Five, that you need, or you'd like to focus in on first? Okay. And your spirit will tell you, your heart, your gut, whatever you want to call it, will tell you through however you get your messages, whether it's like an image in your mind or a thought or like some sort of feeling, you'll get it. An example could be that you start with meditation, even if it's a 5 minute or maybe 2 minutes even, of just allowing for yourself to feel gratitude and to really be present with yourself. It could be breath work. There's this awesome app called Othership, and they have a 5 minute free gratitude meditation. 5 minutes, got it. Don't have to think about it. There you go. You can drink your water before you do it. Have a glass of water, and then maybe wrap up with the last 10 minutes of some gentle movement. Get some stretches in, and then start to prep your breakfast. Okay, so that could be like the beginnings of a 15-minute exploration. And movement, if you need to, it can chop down to 5 minutes, get the next five and another little moment in your day, right? So however you do it, the biggest thing is to prioritize your health by identifying, here's the trick, you're identifying by that check-in, what is it that you most need in order to reach your goal of feeling fulfilled, feeling in love with your life again in this new moment, and to charge you up, to bring your cup to overflowing so that you can meet your day. Does that make sense? Let me know. Does that make sense? Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Be, cleanse, fuel, move, shine is the formula for holistic freedom that we teach over here at Ufulu Child.
And ting.
Yeah, when you get to a level of comfortability, when you're comfortable um, in your thrive zone and in these practices of taking moments to be, taking um, care of cleansing, of course, taking uh, seriously what you fuel your body with, taking a moment to move your body, and being intentional to shine on others, you are essentially, without fail, going to open the door or widen the door to your own holistic freedom being manifest in your real life. Right? It's like if you live a moral life, you will without fail bring good into the world. If you adhere to the Freedom Five, you will without fail introduce more holistic freedom into your health and well-being. Um, and so
Absolutely.
outside of these practices and taking seriously some of these 10-15 minutes, sometimes 5 minute morning routine activities, there's also the concept of play. And then we're going to have to get out of here, but play is very important because we we are here not only to learn and grow in all seriousness and all rigid, rigorous learning modality, but also to learn and grow in our joy and to enjoy certain things. Now, does everybody's life have the capacity for that? Not as much as others, but for the most part, 90% of humanity or whatever, we are here to enjoy this temporary stay that we get on Earth, through both understanding that it's temporary and also through exploring and adventure and looking into things that we're curious about.
Mm.
And so incorporating what lights you up, whether it's creativity or just curiosity and learning,
Or
or
personal
if
growth.
mhm, is very important.
Yeah. So, some ways that I love to kind of think through this when we're incorporating passion and play. Passion is like what you're passionate about. So, it could be a hobby, it could be a passion project. Um, Playtime is just something that, for ain't no reason at all, it just lights your heart up and it brings you joy, right? So it could be something that's educational that you've been wanting to dive into and dig into for yourself, a book that you've been wanting to read. It
All
can
right,
be, yeah, or it can be like something more creative, whether you love writing poetry or
sports.
or playing with your kids or playing a sport or whatever it is. It could be hula hooping, hopscotch. I don't care what it is, but it is what it is. Okay. So here's an example of how you can incorporate playtime in your day while still finding time for your passions. So let's say one moment in the day, let's say you set like 4 or 5 phone alarms throughout the day, spaced out by a few hours, right? And in these phone alarms, one of them reminds you to pour into your passion, whether it's 10 minutes of journaling. That could be an example where you're just really just thinking through what it is that you're passionate about and getting into that. Or it could be 10 minutes or 15 minutes of playing with your kids or taking a walk outside with your family, just to get into some playtime and bring some. You could bring some cool conversation starters. Like, there's some great apps out there now where you can, start to get to know your family, and have some prompts like that too. So that's awesome. Get to know your family on a deeper level. Yay. So those are basically what we have for you today when it comes to resetting your day and prioritizing health, passion, and play. And these three main aspects correspond and they come from your Thrive Zone. These are what I call Thrive 3 goals: wellness or health, passion, and play. And this is the spark. This is really where the rubber meets the road. And especially since we're coming up on a new year, it's important to come to a new yearly goal, to break that goal down, start small, break it down to daily routines where if you do this daily routine, you are definitely going to reach your goal because you've mapped it out. You
Yeah.
reverse engineered it.
And if for you, spiritually, religiously, purposefully, whatever, if for you the new year starts in the spring, then the new year in the Gregorian calendar is a time for you to reflect and see the milestones that you were able to reach, the milestones that you were not able to reach in the time that you thought, and just, do some reflection, recalculation, recalibration, and um, reignition.
Yeah.
And kind of, get back to it when that reflection has revealed some answers to you.
Absolutely.
So Thrive Zone is an event that we're putting on January 20th. That's MLK Day. Your kids should not have school. Theoretically, you should probably not have at least a full day's work, unless you're an essential, of course. And it's a family-friendly event that will
Bring your
consist
babies.
of all things holistic freedom and holistic health. And how we'll do it is all things enjoyment and fun. So we start off with the welcome and icebreaker and things. After that, a concert put on by us as Ufulu Child, as well as Queen Dila, who I just went live on her Instagram page. Yes, 2 days ago.
Soul stirring melodies and potent healing lyrics. Yes.
Absolutely. And who else is going to be at the concert?
Geo. And then also we are going to be performing.
I said that, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that concert is going on, and that's going to be amazing. Shout out to Queen Dila. Make sure you give her a follow and a like. QUEENDEELAH. And then after the concert, we move into a sound bath and a meditation led by me. For those of you who don't know, I've been coaching meditation for at least 5 years now or so.
Yeah.
And I have over 100, 120 or so recorded meditations available to anybody who joins in our membership program.
I think over 90.
No, it's definitely over 100. It's just they're not all of them aren't in that
Got you.
spot. Yeah.
Okay.
Pardon me. And then after the sound bath and meditation, we move into a discussion called the True
Reflection Circle. True Reflection Circle.
Yep. The True Reflection Circle. We're going to dive into some topics of what the human experience has turned into, what some of the negative outcomes of these systems that we have helped build, the effects that they've had, and then the solutions to those, and how we can come together without needing to again add a bunch of hours to the day or be unreasonable and unrealistic and not realistic about our approach to real solutions.
Yeah. So what we're passing on to the babies doesn't have to carry the same broken patterns that we inherited. or that we
right, and broken mindsets,
Mm.
and how we can um, start to collectively introduce the concept of true freedom to our families and communities, because most people in our families and communities don't really have a concept of what true freedom is because of how many layers um, the media and the work schedule and things like that put over top to obfuscate what true freedom really is. And then after the true reflection circle, we are going to do a movement session with Lily Shepard. Shout out
Body
to Lily.
Intelligence
Um,
Academy.
yeah,
Yes.
she's really really great, gentle on your soul. If you feel like, oh, I don't really move my body in public and stuff like that,
All that is
it's
gonna go out the window.
yeah,
It's gonna
it's
be
all
so
good.
great.
It's going to be very fun. And then lastly, we'll do a short presentation on the Freedom 5, 10 to 15-minute activities you can do every day that allow you to introduce
Major
consistency,
shifts.
in your health and wellness. Also, just as a side note, as all of the adult activities are going on, there's also a kids corner.
And a community art wall.
So with the kids corner, there's uh, opportunity for your children to come without you needing to hire some sort of childcare or babysitter. And we have three, facilitators, two main and one off and on facilitators of the kids corner. And they will be taken care of in the same one big room as the adult activities are going on. It'll just be partially walled off. So they'll be able to come out and come back to you and go back to the kids corner as they please. You'll be able to walk right behind the kids corner and see what's going on as many times as you want and participate, whatever.
Yes.
And there's also a community art wall that you'll be able to put your art on. So
Yes. Basically, this whole event incorporates the Freedom 5 in many different ways. It's woven through, it's working moms and their families that are playing part in every element of the event. And so it's really made for y'all. This is amazing. Tap the link in the bio if you're watching on Instagram or on Facebook in our About a section of our profile, or if you're watching on YouTube in the description below. Tap that link, and it's the first link up top. When you click on it, you're going to see this blue flyer or whatever that's a button. Tap on it, and it's going to take you straight to where you can get tickets, where you can learn more. And yeah, we do have sliding scale options, and keeping it accessible, keeping it affordable for everybody and a mama and a babies. And we can't wait to see you so we can thrive together. They could care less. We'll see you tomorrow for Cleanse Day on the podcast. Peace. Peace.